legend of the San Francisco 49ers, who played 10 seasons with the San Francisco 49ers. He was drafted by San Francisco 49ers 6th overall in the 2006 NFL draft, and is probably renowned as one of the greatest tight ends in the San Francisco 49ers history. 62 career touchdown receptions in 13 years, and 2-time a Pro Bowler. I suppose, Vernon Davis, to see San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl, you played in 2012, the Super Bowl where you were defeated by the Baltimore Ravens. To see a team that is so bedded in your own history at the Super Bowl this weekend, it must give you a great sense of joy and great expectation, but you almost must feel like you wish you were there again for that second opportunity.
Yeah, I definitely wish I was there. To see them make it means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to the organization and everyone who supports the 49ers. I know when I was playing the San Francisco 49ers, we didn't make it, so I can live vicariously through them and take myself back to that space where we were back then. So, I'm elated to see them make it this far.
Yeah, and Vernon, do you see any similarities between the San Francisco, your team, the San Francisco 49ers 2012, to this new generation led by Kyle Shanahan, the head coach, centred on Jimmy Garoppolo, a quarterback, and the ever-dangerous Richard Sherman at fullback?
Yeah, I see a lot of similarities. A lot of the players that they have, like defensively and offensively. I know defensively, we were flying around on the ball. I mean, those guys. I mean, we would make plays day in and day out. I mean, every time you turned on the film, you would see those guys flying around from the front line to the linebackers all the way to the defensive back. I mean, it was incredible to watch, and it's just something I would never ever trade that experience for anything, because it was just once in a lifetime experience that I had with those guys. Even though we didn't win that game, we can still hold on to those memories.
Yeah, and I suppose, Vernon, if you look at the current San Francisco 49ers, they face Kansas City Chiefs. Many people would say at the start of the year, people would have said, oh well, Kansas City Chiefs have an outside chance to get to the Super Bowl. Maybe they'll come up against New England Patriots, maybe the Colts might get there, maybe the LA might get there, but very few people predicted that San Francisco would be in the running, not only for a conference title, but actually to make the Super Bowl. And how much of a big surprise is it that San Francisco are there on the biggest day?
I was saying that a lot of teams try so hard to make it, but they just can't get there. I mean, it's just one of those things. You have to, the synergy has to be there. You have to have the camaraderie, and most importantly, you have to have the discipline that you need in order to be able to win those games, especially on that level. Because when you get to the championship level, I mean, guys are playing. They play as if they're losing something. You know what I mean? They don't want to lose, so they give their all and they give their best effort. And it's probably the best effort you'll ever see on that level of football when it comes to those games.
Yeah, and I suppose the Kansas City Chiefs, in their own right, probably a team. When we look at New England Patriots last year, did littered with superstars in relation to Julius Edelman, Tom Brady, the Robert Gronkowski. But this Kansas City Chiefs, they're built on one superstar, an emerging talent whose ability to win games on his own. They're dubbing him the next Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. And how good is this guy?
Oh, Mahomes is incredible. He's one of the best quarterbacks in this league. I mean, I'm excited about his future. I'm excited about what he's doing now, and to see everything that he had to go to get to this point has been tremendous. And I applaud him for his effort and his ability that he's bringing to this team. So, I mean, going into this game, San Francisco 49ers will have their hands full with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and I suppose, Vernon, if we look at maybe some other elements of Kansas City Chiefs in relation to Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and Chris Jones, some prominent forward, and in relation to the running backs, the scorers, Damian Williams comes to mind, LaShawn McCoy and not only that, but Hardiman as well. These are real prominent scores. Probably wouldn't have big reputations in the last few years, but all beginning to emerge and hit form this season.
You know, that's always good to see. Yeah, I mean, you look for that. That's one thing you look for. That's one thing I've always looked for as a veteran in this league. You look for the new talent to come along, especially guys that are performing on the highest level possible. So it's always great to see, and I'm definitely looking forward to this year's Super Bowl.
Yeah, and Vernon, the battle as well between the two head coaches. Andy Reid, probably the most consecutive wins, 221 coaching wins without a Super Bowl. He was there in 2005. He's one time been at a Super Bowl. He lost to the New England. He led the Philadelphia Eagles, but he lost to the New England Patriots. 50 years since Kansas City Chiefs were in a Super Bowl. Andy Reid, one of the long-serving coaches, and then on the flip side, then you've Kyle Shanahan, only his third season in charge of the San Francisco 49ers. When he took them over in 2017, they were in a bad place, but now in his third season in charge, he has them in the Super Bowl. So, contrasting fortunes between both coaches.
Yeah, Coach Shanahan, he's been around for a little while, and he's shown that he can win at any level, so that's really good to see. And as he's going up against Coach Andy Reid, it's going to be a game, one of those games that the first time in a long time. So I think it's going to be a lot of excitement. A lot of guys are going to be flying around. They're going to be looking to get this win.
Yeah, and I suppose, Vernon, the Super Bowl itself, how is the occasion? You were there yourself. Compared to different games throughout the season, the Super Bowl is one of the biggest games in the sporting occasion for any athlete. How do you manage that?
I don't know. I just stay focused, stay disciplined, and stay within the realm of the team, and stepped up whatever my number was called.
Yeah, and Vernon, in relation to the Super Bowl at this weekend, we're going to have a different variety. We're going to have players that have been there for the San Francisco 49ers for the last 10 or 12 years. We're going to have rookies that have been there for 1 or 2 seasons, and that locker unity and that locker mentality built on a season, and just to nurture those players, inexperienced players, through the first quarter. And how important is that until you get a feel of the game?
It's very important to get a feel, to get that going, so you get a feel for the game. I mean, making sure that you're comfortable and you're doing everything that you possibly can to be relaxed and focused out there is imperative. Because if you don't do that, then you're not going to be able to do what you need to do.
Yeah, and Vernon, in relation to the quarterbacks now, we've one quarterback probably coming into this Super Bowl final with a chip on his back in relation to Jimmy Garoppolo. Probably many people dubbed Jimmy Garoppolo was maybe potentially a mediocre sort of quarterback, will never get to play in the big sort of occasion against the next superstar in Patrick Mahomes. And for Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm sure he's been waiting for this occasion to prove himself as one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, Jimmy's ready to go. He definitely wants to prove himself after being a backup for Tom Brady, and now that he's called the shot and he's started quarterback, he's ready to go and show the world what he can do on a consistent basis.
Yeah, and I suppose if you're looking at other players throughout this Super Bowl, Vernon Davis, in relation to the San Francisco 49ers, Richard Sherman brings an awful lot of experience to the table, a former Super Bowl champion himself, a real scoring threat in terms of touchdowns, and no doubt about it, if San Francisco 49ers want to achieve their first Super Bowl in a long time, Richard Sherman will have a pivotal role to play.
Yeah, Richard he's definitely a true veteran. He's been around since his days in Seattle, and for him to join the 49ers this year after coming off of the injury has been nothing but phenomenal for Richard as well as for the team. So, I'm happy for Richard, and I wish him success now and in the future.
Yeah, and I the 49ers and the way they play, what do you think are the main sort of the strengths that they bring to the table? Are they very much a running sort of team, a possession team built on the driving sort of run?
49ers' most valuable asset is defense. The defense is playing better than any defense I've seen in the last 4 to 5 years. I mean, they're strong, they're smart, and they're flying around. And most importantly, that's all you can really ask for. That they go out there and get their best fly around, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, and I suppose many people will look at the conference that the San Francisco 49ers were successful in, and people say they probably came through a tougher test in the final against the Green Bay Packers team led by Aaron Rodgers, while Kansas City Chiefs had a fairly flawless victory over the Tennessee Titans. And do you think that will stand to the San Francisco 49ers? Yeah, Vernon, in relation to the San Francisco 49ers, their victory over the Green Bay Packers against an Aaron Rodgers led outfit, while Kansas were victorious over a fairly flawless victory over Tennessee. Do you think the harder game for San Francisco 49ers will stand to them?
You know what? I can't really. You can look at those games that each team played before they take on each other in this championship, and you can say this team played this way, maybe the other team played that way. But yeah, it's all about the moment. We can say we want to say, we can have our opinions, and we can compare and contrast each game, but it's all going to fall on the moment. It's going to be all about the moment. The moment is coming, and that's what we're waiting for. That's what we'll see, and we'll see what team is really the true team. That true team is destined to win this championship.
Yeah, and I suppose the San Francisco 49ers, they're playing in Miami. The Super Bowl is on Miami, and it's sort of in the past San Francisco 49ers, they've had sort of relative success in Miami, and Kansas City Chiefs, the first time in 50 years playing in the Super Bowl, the nostalgia and all that. Is there a chance that maybe the Kansas City may get caught up in the moment?
No. I don't think they'll get caught up in the moment, because they're not that. If you look at the way this team is playing, they're not worried about anything. They're just playing football. They're, like I just said about the moment. They're living in the moment. They're playing ball. They're not thinking about anything. The only thing that they're worried about, the only thing that's on their mind is winning a championship, and that's the philosophy of Andy Reid, and that has trickled down to the team, and they have bought in. That's why they're playing the way they're playing today.
Yeah, and I suppose, Vernon, just looking at the Super Bowl, we have as we said, we have the San Francisco 49ers victorious over the Green Bay Packers. We have as well Kansas City Chiefs victorious over the Tennessee Titans. Is it very strange not to see a New England Patriots not even in getting to the Final Four this year? And do you think maybe it's a rebuilding job for New England going forward under Bill Belichick? And do you think we'll see Bill Belichick and Tom Brady go for one more season?
You know what? Every team deserves to go to the Super Bowl, and I'm proud that there's a new team going to the Super Bowl. The Patriots, they've been there there's been so many years that we've looked up and we've seen the Patriots in the Super Bowl. So now that there's a new team, I'm not really surprised. No. It's expected that Tom Brady and the Patriots will make it, but they didn't. So, I'm just going to be happy for the team that made it. I mean, the two teams that made it, because they deserve it. They deserve it.
Yeah. And Vernon, if you look maybe your own opinion now in relation to the game itself and breaking it down, where do you think maybe the game could be won and lost for both sides?
I think if each team is going to be successful, we're going to stop the quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have to throw accurate passes. He's going to have to be very, very disciplined. He's going to have to make the correct decisions and go with them. Same for Patrick Mahomes. If that team is going to have a high chance of winning, they're going to have to be really, really proficient at the quarterback spot.
Vernon, you spent the best part of your career, 10 years with the San Francisco 49ers, and no doubt you're rooting for San Francisco 49ers win this weekend. And do you think they will be successful?
Yeah, I think San Francisco 49ers will be successful, and I say that because of the way they've been playing all season.
Yeah, and Vernon, in relation to what you think a Super Bowl will mean, I know what it will mean to the city of Kansas to achieve it after 50 years, but for the city of San Francisco, a place that holds dear to your heart, what would it mean for the 49ers fans, you being a 49er fan included, for San Francisco to sit on the top of the mountain again in relation to American football?
I think for both teams it would be the same thing. You know what I mean? Let's look at the years. You know, the Super Bowl, winning championship is hard to do. I mean, everyone wins games, winning championships, something that everyone cannot achieve. So, you know, it's meaningful in the same way on both sides.
Yeah, on that note, Vernon Davis, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you on the airways to give us your expert opinion on the Super Bowl final this weekend between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. Vernon Davis, an iconic player, a tight end legend with the San Francisco 49ers. We no doubt we wish your side, no doubt you'll be rooting for San Francisco, all the best this weekend, and for both teams, hopefully it'll be a joyous occasion and a game that will live long in the memories. Thank you, Vernon.
You're so welcome, and thanks for having me.